Another weekend, another disappointment from Ferrari. After their excellent start to the season, scoring a 1-2 finish in Bahrain and Leclerc winning in Australia after Verstappen retired, the Monegasque had a commanding 46 points lead in the championship after just 3 races. However, the reliability issues turned against them, and what's even more painful is that the team missed the tactics on multiple occasions, with everything starting in Monaco. But why does the team that probably has the fastest car on the grid is so far away from the championship fight? Stick around to find out more. Ferrari has struggled with 2 types of problems this year: reliability issues and tactics. The latter is more bizarre for the team because it's a human factor, and not paying enough attention to the race brings to losing problems. When we thought that the team is finally over their reliability issues and managed to make a fast and a reliable engine, Sainz's engine caught fire in Austria and brought back some painful memories. The Hungarian GP, which is the last race prior to the F1 caravan entering the summer break, just went to show that the team is far away from the championship mentality it needs to be in, like Red Bull. But let's dive into the first missed opportunities that Ferrari had at the beginning of the season to understand the problem on a bigger scale. The first blunder was in Monaco, where the team managed to mess up their own tactic and cost Leclerc significant points in the championship after a dominant qualifying session. For things to be more painful, the race was wet and overtaking was additionally hardened on this narrow track. All Ferrari had to do is cruise to the win and not mess up in the pit lane. Guess they didn't nail the second one correctly after all. Perez was the first one that changed from full wet to intermediate tires, and Leclerc entered right after him to protect his position. However, Perez did a monster lap on those tires, so he managed to cut around 8 seconds of the lead to Leclerc, resulting in him gaining position on the Monegasque in the pit stop. Sainz refused to pit for intermediate, believing that the track will dry much sooner than everybody anticipated, so he chose to go with the one-stopper and fit the hard compound tires. However, the team messed up badly when they entered Leclerc for the second time, as they double-stacked with Sainz ahead, entering the pits first. But due to them being unable to coordinate this in a better manner, Leclerc was found sitting a couple of seconds behind Sainz and losing additional time. This is when he lost track position to Verstappen too, and Sainz exited P2 behind Perez. The previous race in Barcelona saw Ferrari struggling again with reliability issues, and it was more painful because Leclerc lost the lead to Verstappen after finishing P2 in Miami and P6 in Italy. His turbocharger failed, as he had to retire early in the race after having a dominant stint with Verstappen and Sainz spinning off at turn 4 and Leclerc extending the lead up to 12 seconds ahead. Stuff didn't get better when the caravan visited Baku, a race that was supposed to favour Ferrari due to their setup. Sainz was first to retire due to hydraulics issues, while Leclerc suffered yet another engine failure and was forced to retire. The most painful thing is that when Leclerc didn't finish the race in Barcelona and Baku, Red Bull took 1-2 wins, with Verstappen leading the way ahead of Perez. Leclerc's race in Montreal was compromised from the start, as he had to take a new engine due to the constant reliability issues so early in the season. After starting from the back, he managed to finish P5, which was eased to him by Perez's retirement, but Verstappen won the race yet again, extending the lead by additional 15 points. The next strategic blunder happened in Silverstone, where Leclerc should have been pitted during the safety car window, with Max Verstappen having a damage limitation race running in P7. But Ferrari missed this opportunity as they called Sainz in the pits. He was followed by Perez and Hamilton, and the three were looking to hunt down Leclerc ahead. Ferrari's strategy was to let Leclerc make a lead ahead with Sainz holding down Perez and Hamilton behind him, but the Spaniard denied this quickly and said that if he does that, then Perez and Hamilton will attack and pass Leclerc too. So Leclerc fell down yet again from P1 to P4, cutting just a small amount of points into the lead. When things started to look promising after his win in Austria, Leclerc spun and hit the barriers in France as Verstappen won and extended his lead to 63 points ahead of the Monegasque. Ferrari was yet again in the center of the attention with their tactics, as Sainz started on the back of the grid but was able to climb all the way to P3. He passed Russell and Perez on much older medium compound tires, and he had 11 laps to go in the race. However, he had a 5-second penalty due to an unsafe release in the pit stop, and the team decided to pit him for new tires and serve the penalty. Sainz finished P5 with the fastest lap, but F1 legends like Nico Rosberg and Damon Hill have questioned the tactics of Ferrari and how they striped down Sainz from the podium. The latest of all the blunders was in Hungary, where Ferrari started P2 and P3, with both Red Bulls having a bad day in qualifying. When the track is dry, there is a rule in F1 that says that the driver needs to finish the race using at least 2 different compound tires. Ferrari started on the medium compound tires, and the plan was to go with the 2-stopper, with the second stop seeing them mount the hard or the soft compound tire. However, Alpine did this first, and everybody saw that the hard compound tire is a huge no due to a loss of performance. Yet Ferrari decided to mount the hard compound tire on the second pit stop, which saw Leclerc being passed by Russell and Verstappen, and Sainz was unable to chase Russell. Not only that, the Spaniard got passed by Hamilton too, as the duo from Mercedes shared the podium yet again. Both the Ferrari drivers were really unhappy about this, as Leclerc said that he had no idea why they pitted for hard compound tires. I don't know yet. We need to speak with the team and understand the thoughts behind putting on the hard tires, because I felt very strong on the mediums. Everything was under control, and I don't know why we needed to go on the hard tires. I said on the radio that I was very comfortable with the medium tires and that I wanted to go as long as possible with those tires because the feeling was good, but I don't know why we took a different decision, said Leclerc, adding that he lost huge time on the hard compound tires. Honestly, I was pretty happy with the pace, said Leclerc prior to his pit stop. The only thing is that obviously everybody will remember the last part of the race where it was a disaster for me, especially on the hard tire. That's where I lost the race basically. I lost 20 seconds with the pit stop, maybe another 6 seconds in 5 laps on the hard tires, because I was just all over the place with this tire. We'll speak about this inside the team to get better, finished Leclerc. Sainz was also left out puzzled by the tactic of his team, saying, "We clearly struggled as a team today. I'm a bit puzzled because we expected to have a very good race pace coming from Friday, but it's clear that with these lower temperatures and track condition changes that we had today, there was something going on with the car and the tires that we just were not fast. Something to analyze, a day to probably look back, regroup, see what we did wrong for these kinds of conditions and come back after the summer break with a better package," said Sainz, who also spoke about the slow pit stops. "The first slow pit stop, I think, cost me the overcut on George, which obviously would have simplified the race from there onwards, because then you don't have dirty air following a car ahead. I could have, I think, done an overcut with a fast pit stop, but it is what it is. We've been decent on the pit stops all year, but now and then a couple of pit stops are failing us, and we need to analyze what we can do better. We want to be stronger in the second half of 2022, finished Sainz. The team also spoke about the tactics after both of its drivers said that it was very strange for them that this occurred. As Mattia Binotto said, "We knew the hard tires have got some warm-up difficulties. A couple of laps and they would not have been as fast as a medium for 10-11 laps, but then to the end, it was a stint for 30 laps. We believe that they could have been fast enough somehow, be in the race, and try to certainly have a good position by the end of the race. But overall, they didn't work as we were expecting. I think the main reason for it was because the car was not working as we were expecting. But let's see, let's analyze and let's have a conclusion later," finished Mattia. Nevertheless, Ferrari is going with 80 points deficit in the Drivers' Championship and 97 points deficit in the Constructors' Championship during the summer break. They will have to pray that Red Bull is on the receiving end of reliability issues, because as things stand, Ferrari is far away from a championship and could very well lose second place in the competition to Mercedes, who are very close to Ferrari in both categories.